Alright, so this is the instructional video for the paper crossing over activity. Hopefully last time you did the reading on meiosis, you took some notes, and you watched an ad puzzle, so you're a little familiar with what meiosis does. And today we're going to actually go through and I'll physically show you what happens and why it is that meiosis is important to individuals having a variety of traits. You know, why you don't look exactly the same as your brothers or sisters or your parents. Okay, so you're going to need this paper crossing over meiosis lab. You're going to need these two sheets, a pink sheet and a blue sheet, and then you're going to need a piece of plain white cardstock. I left all of these things with the sub, all four things, so you should be able to she should have passed them out, or he, or you can get them off my desk if they don't know where they are. Okay, so when you're done with this part, you're going to put it on page 68 in your notebook, like this. And then what we are making, you're going to need to save for when I come back on Monday. Yay! So okay, the first thing that we need to do when we're doing meiosis, so we're going to look at this, and it explains kind of again what a diploid and a haploid cell are. And the first thing that happens is that the DNA is replicated. So what you are going to do, and I have already done, you can pause the video and look at mine if you're not confident in what to do. So you're going to cut out your chromosomes, and you can see that they come in pairs like this, okay? Because you get, it's like pairs of shoes, or right and a left, you get one from your mom and one from your dad. So here's the chromosome number 1. This is the one that came from dad, and then chromosome number 1, the one that came from mom. So before we can divide, we need to replicate or make an exact copy. So you're going to copy exactly from this side onto over on this side, the exact gene. So for chromosome number 1, this says no active gene. So over here I wrote NA for not active. No active gene, not active. This brown hair color is a lowercase b, so you write a lowercase b. It is important that you write the same case. Okay, lowercase h for height, lowercase h. No gene, NA, and you're going to go through all of them. Then you're going to do it for chromosome number 2 from mom. Do the same, or chromosome number 1 for mom. Chromosome number 2 for dad, you're going to copy the exact same thing. Lowercase r, not active, not active, not active, not active. Lowercase I. And then same thing for the one that came from mom. Then you'll have your sex genes. So everybody gets an X chromosome from their mom, because that's all mom has to give us, or our X's. So you'll copy exactly. And then this is a male, so he gets a Y chromosome from his dad, and then you'll copy that exactly and then cut them out. So pause the video, copy them, cut them out, and then unpause it, and we'll get to the next part. Okay, so on this sheet you have a website right here. It's the Dice Roll website, and you need to go to that tiny URL, and you're going to pick one 6-sided dice from the menu, and I'm going to use a real dice because this is a video, and we're going to model the process that your body does to make sure offspring or your DNA is all mixed up before you decide to have babies, because the more mixed the genes are, the better for the organism, because it makes you stronger and it hides some negative traits that you probably don't want. So we're going to take our die. We're going to take our first set of chromosomes here. I'm going to put these out of the way. I'm going to take these pairs like this. This is chromosome number 1, and there's two sets of them, okay? And I'm going to roll a die, and we're going to be cutting and pasting the genes onto each other. So I'm going to roll this dice. Okay, so I got a 6. So there's 3 above this paper clip. not roll a 6? No, I can't not roll a 6. All right, I'm gonna pretend that I rolled a 3. All right, and so what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna count 3, 1, 2, 3, and I'm gonna cut them, and then I'm gonna switch them, because this is what your body does. It cuts up the DNA and it switches it around to make sure everything's all mixed up. So you're gonna cut them and then tape them back together. So it's still a whole gene, but now this gene is slightly different. Okay? And then we're gonna do above the paper clip on this one too. So I'm gonna roll and I'm gonna pretend that I got a 1. So for the 1, I'm gonna count down to 1, and then on here we're just gonna switch the first gene. So the dice determines how many genes get switched. Your body obviously doesn't roll dice. It just does this automatically. Okay. So we did the top part. We're gonna tape them together. All right. Now now that we did the tops, we're gonna do the bottom. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, there's 5 at the bottom. Whoops. So I rolled the dice and I got a 4. So I'm gonna count 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm gonna cut this one off at the bottom. And then I'm gonna cut this one off at the bottom. And I'm gonna switch them. Okay. And then tape them back together. Okay. So I'm gonna tape these together. And there we go. I have my first set of crossed over genes. This is called crossing over, where your body literally cuts your genes and then re-tapes them together to be all mixed up. All right, so now I'm gonna do for this bottom part on the second chromosome. I only have 5, so there, I've got a 1 again. So I'm gonna cut 1 from the bottom. Cross them over, then tape them together. All right, you need to do this with all of your chromosomes. I'm gonna keep going in case people need to see it. If you get it and you don't need to watch me do it, you can just fast forward a little bit in the video. Okay, so here's my chromosomes 1. I'm gonna take now our chromosomes 2. So I'm gonna get 1 from dad, 1 from mom, 1 from dad, 1 from mom. And I'm gonna do it again. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 at the top. Okay, so I'm gonna roll my dice. And I got a 1. So I'm gonna trade the first gene like this. These will be traded. Okay, I'm gonna roll for this side now. Three. All right, so 1, 2, 3. I'm gonna cut like this. 1, 2, 3. I'm gonna cut, and then I'm gonna switch them like that. Tape them down, or together, tape them together. Okay, and then we'll do the bottom. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4. So I have to roll something less than a 4. Because okay, so I got 4, so we're just gonna switch all of them. So I'm gonna cut all of them off, 1, 2, 3, 4, and switch them. Okay. And again, yours should be different than mine because you are using the online dice roll, so everyone should end up a little bit different. which is the point of meiosis, that you can have the same DNA, but end up with things being a little bit different. All right, now I'll roll for this one. So that's a 3. So I'm going to go from the bottom, 1, 2, 3. Okay. And then I'll cross these over and reattach them. So now instead of just having mom and dad, now we've got mom and dad all mixed up on different genes. All right, so this was chromosome number 2. The last ones we're going to do are the X and Y chromosomes. Okay, so for the X chromosome, the top only has 3. So I need to roll a number less than 3. I got 1. So I'm going to switch. So in this instance, this really isn't going to do anything because this is a male. There's no other X chromosome. In a female, females have 2 X chromosomes, and so this chromosome switching produces more variety in a female. But this is a male, so it's not. Okay, and then you do the same thing with this one, but you get the idea. Okay, so now we've mixed up our chromosomes. We are going to, we've replicated them, we crossed the genes over, and we made sure that they are all mixed up, and now we're going to divide them. So I'm going to put mine in little X's like this. You can use a paper clip if you would like. I'm going to match them together. Okay, so got a chromosome 2 set here, this chromosome 2 set here, and then I'll have this chromosome 1 and this chromosome 1. All right, so we know in cell division they line up in the middle and then they go apart for anaphase, so we're going to break them apart. So we're going to take this chromosome and half goes to this side, half goes to this side. We're going to take this chromosome, half goes to this side, half goes to this side. Okay, we're going to take this chromosome, half and half, half and half. Ta-da! We just did our first step of meiosis. Okay, so if you'll notice, we have a chromosome, we have 2 sets of chromosome 1, 2 sets of chromosome 2, an X and a Y. Over on this, in this cell, we have 2 sets of chromosome 1, a set of chromosome 2, an X and a Y. So we have the exact same sets of DNA in both cells. If this were mitosis, this is where this would stop. But it's not. We are currently located either in an ovary or a testicle, and so we have to do this one more time, but without replicating. So we're going to take egg number 1 or sperm number 1, and we're going to do 1 chromosome on this side, 1 chromosome here, right? 1 number 1, 1 number 2, 1's going to be an X and 1 will be a Y. Okay, and then we're going to do the same, our other set, 1 chromosome 1, 1 chromosome 1. It's kind of like dealing cards. 1 chromosome 2, 1 chromosome 2, 1 X, 1 Y. So now you have 4 sets of half the DNA. Each of these, in this case, would be a sperm cell. Or an egg cell if you were a female. So now what we're going to do is if on your birth certificate it says that you are a female, you're going to pick one of these that has the X, and you're going to create an egg with just 1 set. Okay, if you are on your birth certificate, it says that you are a male, you are going to pick any of these. You can pick any one you want, because if you are male, you get to choose from all these. Okay, so if you're on your birth certificate it says you're a male, you are going to create a sperm cell. And if on your birth certificate it says you're a female, you're going to create an egg. If you're a female, you can only choose the ones that have the X chromosomes. Okay, so I am a female, which means I create eggs. So now I'm going to pick this one just because. Okay, I'm going to take my cardstock and I'm going to draw an egg. Okay, which is just a circle. If you are a male, you're going to draw a sperm, and then I'm going to cut it out. If you don't know what sperm looks like, you can look it up on the internet or find Spermy in the room somewhere and draw him. Okay, but you want it to be really big because you're going to be taping your chromosomes to it. Okay, so you're going to draw a really big egg or a really big sperm. You're going to cut it out. All right, so you're going to put your name on the back of it, so, and your period, whatever. Okay, and then on the other side, you're going to tape down your chromosomes. Chromosomes 1, 2, and this, I have an X because I'm a female. If you are a male, again, you can do X or Y. It's your choice. I'm just going to tape them down like this. Okay. Okay. Make sure they're secure. If you mess up on your egg or sperm and you need another cardstock, it's fine. You can go get another one. So this is what you're going to need for next class. So you can either put it in your notebook and save it for next time, or if you think you're going to lose it, go put it in the tray on my desk and make sure you've got your name on the back, and then I'll hand them back out next class because we're going to do an activity with our eggs and our sperm. Okay, your extra chromosomes, you can just throw away, because not all eggs or sperm get used, and so anytime you have a period, your chromosome, they just get thrown away. Your eggs gone. Anytime you masturbate, your sperm just gone. Those child abandonment, you've just wasted a whole bunch of DNA. Also, even if you don't, your sperm will get reabsorbed back into your body. So either way, if you don't use it, you'll lose it. But don't use it to, never mind. Anyway, we're going to save our gametes for next class. On this crossing over paper, on the back here, there are some discussion questions. So we are only going to do to number 6. Okay, so you only have to do 1 through 6. 7 and 8 we're going to do next class. So I'll put, don't cross it out, but 7 and 8 for next class. Okay, but you do need to do 1 through 6. And then tape this into your notebook on page 68. And if there's time, you're going to watch the second ed puzzle, and then that is it. So please check your other classmates, and if anybody has a question, try to help them. I will be back on Monday, so we are going to be using these, so I'll know if you didn't do it. And if you didn't understand, please ask someone. Your classmates are very nice. I've met all of you, and no one's going to bite you, so it's fine. Ask for help if you need it, and then I will see you on Monday.